It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys. Coming up next.
We've been here so many times, and you still stand in awe at the size of this place. We're at AT&T Stadium. Welcome to Arlington, Texas. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott, and Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks here who also know how to push that football down the field.
Yeah, you got a couple QBs who are going to keep these defenses honest today, because the moment they get greedy in coverage or get too aggressive in the pocket, either of these quarterbacks can drop a dime, drop a deep throw right over them for big yardage, and maybe 6 points too.
Anders Carlson ready to get us started. And here we go from AT&T Stadium. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. This return makes it up to the 37 as he's tackled. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. Bringing them out is a Mississippi State fourth-round pick in 2016 who's found considerable success in this league, Dak Prescott.
I don't think I'm alone in this, Kate. To me, Dak is one of the easiest players to root for their success in the NFL. I think for me and for many others, it's based on all he's overcome, from tough playoff losses to significant injuries. But his leadership, his stats, his ability to play like an MVP in big moments, at his best, he really is all you could ever ask for.
George Pickens, the intended target. And now they face second down. Throwing again is Dak. This one caught by C.D. Lamb. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. They get 13 on the pickup. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
The nice thing about a drag route is it works versus zone. You can find that soft spot and get a completion, but they can be very effective when you got an excellent route runner running away on that drag route from man coverage.
Throwing on first is Prescott. Getting out to his left. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Pretty even match in this first half, and you're just kind of waiting. Right? You just kind of try to get a feel for which defense is going to come to life. And when you get that sack, that could go a long way to infusing some energy on that side of the ball.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. Trying again following the sack. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he's down inside the 35 before going out. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
First and 10, Prescott. He smartly won't risk something here and just chucks it away.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Now the first run of the game for Javonte Williams. And tough sledding for him. Only room to get it to the 30. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Buys time, rolling right. They'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Give him 24 on that play. And now they have a 1st and goal.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the 1st down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the pressure drives them backwards.
That sure ended up being a worst-case scenario. Pass rush just kept coming and bearing down. And he was looking for an escape that wasn't there. It's just one of those plays in hindsight, Kate, where you really got to understand, I got to cut bait, cut my losses, and avoid such a negative play.
Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Another try following the sack. And he's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas! The Cowboys finish up an excellent opening series. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone while getting your offense established in its top gear right here early on.
Brandon Aubrey now on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Aubrey now to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. This return makes it up to the 25. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. And bringing them out, an electrifying runner and a former first-round pick back in 2021, Justin Fields.
There's still lots of people around the NFL that believe that Justin Fields' best football is in front of them. Major believers of him as an upper-tier quarterback. And the reason why, Kate, is he's got physical traits that are just unique and different. He can run it like a running back, and he can spin a football as well. In fact, that running ability is some of the best in the game. But just continuing to build and refine his game as a passer between the tackles, that will be the key to the longevity of his career. He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Escapes the pocket. He's on the move. That's a pickup of 9. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
1st and 10 from the 41. Here's Breece Hall on the ground for the first time. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
They give on 2nd to Hall. And he'll take it past the midfield stripe and start the push into Cowboys territory. It's a gain of 5, and he's just short. So that's 3rd and less than a yard.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you're going to be a Pro Bowler.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. They go right back to Hall. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. We will not get another play in here. That's going to do it for quarter number 1. Neither side separating much so far. Back to AT&T Stadium in just a moment. So on 4th down, the Jets turn to a fan favorite. It's Thomas Morstead to punt it away. And he'll get under this one and make the fair catch at the 19-yard line. So no return on that punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to begin the drive. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. They connect on the deep shot. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So as we all recover from that last play, it's 1st and 10 near the red zone. 1st down, here's Dak. Caught near the goal line. And in for the Dallas touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. The point after splits the uprights. And the Cowboys double their lead to 14. Aubrey now to kick this one away. Wangu now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. They haven't been able to get that offense going just yet, Brock. The deficit at 14. 1st down throw for Fields. Into the hands of Garrett Wilson. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
These defenders, they can just feel it. You're up a couple scores in the game, and you know what the other side is starting to do. They're starting to press, and you're going to start to see a little bit more pass. And that's when these defenders pin their ears back. They get home, and they create havoc in a sack, just like that.
After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. That's caught. He finds Allen Lazard. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Hall takes it straight ahead. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Tackle made by Trayvon Diggs.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Play action, Fields. Flushed out of the pocket. Steps up, and he's running with it. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
Just not much to do right there, whether he wanted to run it or throw it. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win for this defense.
Here they come. This is 3rd and 5. Looking to throw Fields. Escapes the pocket. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. Now we have a member of the Cowboys hurt after that play, and they'll need to get somebody out there to look at him. Markers reset, ball at the 37. On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Wilson's got it. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it'll give the Jets a 1st down.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
We're to the 2-minute warning from AT&T. The Jets at a disadvantage on the scoreboard. They're now set for 1st and 10. Fields out of the gun. Bails out of the pocket quick. He's running with it. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. From the red zone now. Has it in close. And he takes it down to the 2, but no touchdown yet. He's out of bounds. It's 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap to Fields. The shot to the end zone is incomplete.
Oh, that is going to haunt him. A drop touchdown in the end zone. We'll see how good his mental toughness is, if he can move past it quickly and make an impact for them later.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Hall goes up and over for the touchdown. The Jets make it a 1-score game before halftime. Breece Hall with the touchdown. A lot of pressure on him in that moment, Brock. Find a way to score. Don't let it go to 4th and goal. And he finds a way to come through and gets in the end zone for 6.
And how about the other side? Beating a defense right there as well. That group who was so close to pulling off the goal line stand, yet all that motivation wasn't enough to stop him on 3rd and goal.
Anders Carlson to tack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Jets chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Kick taken in here at the 17. This return gets to the 30 before he stopped. The Cowboys and C.D. Lamb headed back out on offense. And they have made it no secret that they want to go his way in this game, right? And the results so far, I'd say very promising. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target. Looking for the back that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Again on 2nd and 10, Prescott. Got Lamb, and it's complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. The Cowboys signaling for their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. 3rd and 4 coming up now. From the gun is Prescott. It's taken in by Williams. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. That's good for 7 yards. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
Hey, Kate, they don't rightly care who it's going to go to in that situation. All they really care about are the results on 3rd down. And that's exactly the result they needed, enough to keep this drive moving.
Dak throwing again. Throw secured by George Pickett. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Another throw for Prescott. He's on the move. He's going to pull this one down and run with it. Now Dallas is going to call its second timeout. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. Dak now from the gun. And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go. Still inches to go on 3rd down. Prescott here from the gun. He's got it near the 8. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine. Surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
For the point after, here's Aubrey. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Cowboys double their lead to 14. Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They've got 1st and 10, Brock, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. Makes the grab in bounds left side.
If only every completion could get that kind of result. That's good enough to knock a defense flat on its back.
One last play before the break. One final shot before halftime. A massive shot towards the end zone. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete. So we've hit the end of 2. The Cowboys fighting to the halftime lead here in Dallas. Now we'll head over to Orlando, Florida. Check in with Jonathan Coachman for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. It was a veteran quarterback, Dak Prescott, who had it working in the first half. He threw a first quarter touchdown pass, then 2 more in the second quarter, a 3-touchdown half. And he may just be getting started.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. Xavier Gipson now to return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So to begin the 3rd quarter, the New York offense returning to the field. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. Fields on first down. Finds a man right side. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They start the half with a give to Hall. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. It's a gain of 4 there. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes, but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
Off play action, it's Fields. That's caught, it's Breece Hall. Just a couple of yards here as he heads for the sideline.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Completed over the middle. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
New set of downs for him from the 46. From the gun, it's Hall. And they'll bottle this up after a 4-yard gain. It's Kenneth Murray on the tackle. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 now. Still has some space inside the 35. And he gets down to the 24 before he stopped. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Escapes the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
These quarterbacks are so good with their clock in their head between the tackles. But you get outside the pocket, and you've got to have that same ability. If you hesitate for a second, the defenses with their speed at this level, they'll find a way to bring you to the ground.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. And he's going to take this across. Touchdown, New York. The Jets cut into the lead coming out of halftime. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jets chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Turpin with a return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. The Cowboys and quarterback Dak Prescott ready to get back to work. And as we're reminded of some of the highlights of this game, his touchdowns ranking quite high among them. We're going to see 3 of them here, and if you're scoring like that, Brock, it normally means you've had a pretty darn good game. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Putting a receiver in motion. 1st and 10, Prescott. Throw complete to Lamb. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Up the gut they go with Williams. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
Well, Kate, a 2-yard run on 1st down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule, but you're going to have to pick up the pace.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Here's Dak. To the sideline it goes. He's got it beyond the marker. It looks like he stayed in as well. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. This is the end of the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys have it with a lead, but the win's not secure just yet. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. First down, here's Dak. Has him on the quick hitter. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
You'll often hear it said, in my life experience, it's true, the NFL is a game of matchups, so much more than any level. And these tight ends, we see it time and again, are such a matchup nightmare down the field.
Throwing on 1st is Prescott. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Throwing again is Dak. Throwing the out route complete. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Now Prescott. Rolling left, buying some time. Oh, he's going to run for it. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
He's got it on the bootleg. And he sails that one over the end zone.
That was simply a case of not enough time available to let that play develop. That throw was out so quick, and he wasn't able to reel it in.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Dak to the air here. Looking for somewhere to throw. And no one had a shot at that. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. Quick slant complete. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
Those little short throws, they are high percentage and certainly bread and butter. But they really run the risk of a quick tackle just like that and being stopped short of the sticks.
So a big kick coming up for Brandon Aubrey. Only a 20-yarder here. Gay's kick is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
It doesn't take a math major, Kate, to realize how important that field goal was. It's now a 2-score game really late and puts them in the driver's seat to go and finish this thing with the win.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. Wangu now to return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. The Jets have their offense ready to go again. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. Trying to force one through there. So it's 2nd down coming up.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as it begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields. Short pass brought in. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Fields now on 3rd. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Now after making that catch, we see he's shaken up. Trainer's heading out to take a look. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Another throw for Fields. Tried to connect, but it winds up incomplete.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Back to throw. Here's Fields. Completed to Reynolds. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Offense up to the line fast. Fields on 3rd. He has the first over the middle. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
Flushed out of the pocket. He tucks it and takes up. Oh, he lost the football! And the Cowboys scoop it up. And And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
You know, this just can't happen on first down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is a premium on every down, every distance. But on first down, it is especially a killer.
The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. The drive begins with a run. It's Williams. And he'll get it up to the 27. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. We've reached the 2-minute warning from Dallas. Cowboys holding a 10-point lead. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Draw play. This is Williams. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. First down, ball at the 36. Another run for Williams. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there. Now we get another stoppage here. Just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. They stay on the ground with Williams. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. They drop to a knee, and what little time we have left here is going to tick down.
There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second.
Second down, probably going to see him kneel it again here. On second down, a run with Williams. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. They'll get that yard back, but no more. It's 3rd and 10. Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Cowboys punting it away here on 4th, and it's the long-time vet Brian Engeron now. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. So this one goes out of bounds inside the 20, but not by much. They're giving him the 18-yard line. So the Cowboys take the win here in Arlington. They did their part, Brock, defending the home field, using that advantage to secure the victory. We know home field advantage is a real thing. And the crowd, they did their part too, adding to just an awesome atmosphere, helping energize those players at big moments of today's ball game.
Yeah, it is super fun to win on the road. I'm not going to lie, to quiet the crowd. But you know what's even better? When you get to celebrate with your family, your friends, your hometown people, your community, and you know, more importantly, they played a role as that extra voice in that building, man. It is a rewarding feeling.